Okay. So I'm not allowed to talk during our intro, but Caleb can start with.
Well, yeah, don't talk during it, but once it starts, make whatever noise you want.
All you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, where is your funny hat?
Yeah, fuck.
Right there.
I'm a little let down.
I don't have a funny hat, dude. I'm sorry.
Then, like, I don't put a stocking over your head or something.
Really?
I'll
I'll go do that. I'll go do that. You guys
No,
say
do
what's up and tell everybody how their week's
Don't
been.
don't do
I'm gonna
that.
go grab a stocking off the what?
Don't do that.
Why not?
Don't do that. I'm giving you a hard time. Calm down.
Well, I mean, I'm used to that. Everybody see the what Nerdy Bits tweeted for my birthday?
Did you have a good 12th birthday, by the way?
There it is. All right, we can move right on. Ben, how's your week
Cheers,
been?
cheers, gentlemen.
Oh, I've been just fine. Thank you.
Why are you dressed like you're gonna hunt the Jack the Ripper?
Because we discussed funny hats, so I figured I would wear something to
Yeah.
compliment the bowler. So that's it. That's all I got. Just wanted to dress up
Dope.
for my fine fans and followers.
He looks like Hyde from the League of Extraordinary Men.
Gentlemen.
Or
No, he's talking about the Pornhub version.
Man, right out of the gate, opening salvos.
Yes, the League of Extraordinary Men.
The League of Sweet Men.
Yes.
Wait now.
Too far? Okay. You thought so,
Boy.
too.
Boys.
Um,
No? Nothing? That wasn't funny to anybody? Okay.
I just laughed.
Instead of saying boy, I said boys. No?
Can he not hear me?
Was Ryan muted?
He definitely can't hear me.
Nope, he
Right.
totally can't hear you.
Muted.
No, I can 100% hear him, but I'm really good at sounding like I'm ignoring him. Brian, how's your week been, bud?
Fuck
That's
you.
awesome.
It's been pretty good. I got my snowplow on my four-wheeler and like made some good money off that shit. Just whipping up and down everybody's driveways, plowing driveways and shit, and
Nice.
wives, you know.
Plowing your neighbors?
But yeah, that's basically all I've been doing all week. Plowing
Did
neighbors.
plowing your neighbors get you into the League of Extraordinary Men?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I'm the chairman.
So,
Gross.
anybody, but my Logitech camera software worked just long enough for me to turn off my auto balance, and then it
And then it died.
and now it looks like I'm on fire.
Ben,
You
you're
look like
so
you're on
hot.
fire.
Is
Turn
that how
on
you
the
keep
red
your
beard
house
filter.
warm? You got like a campfire in the corner back there?
I got an incandescent.
Yeah, it looks like
Dude,
you've got a
it-
heat lamp for a lizard.
He's playing into the outfit. He's from Red Dead, dude.
Hey, nice.
I love it. I love it. It's beautiful.
So, Eric, how's your week been?
My week's been good. I am ready for Christmas next week because you guys can't see it behind the green screen, but there's boxes stacked to the ceiling, and there's shit all over there, and just shit all over my office. Literally, the only space I have is like this area I sit in.
All right.
Yeah, other than that, it's just work and
You should shit in the bathroom more.
baby is close, boys.
Starting to
Super
peak.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're he's not doing that yet. The doctors still hold the due date of the 20th of January, but there's no way. I mean, she's only 5'4" and she can't move anymore. She has no midsection. She's all legs and arms. So she's just, it's like a head, a circle, and legs. And she just
Yeah. She looks like the
I
boy
feel- I-
mayor,
I-
the boy mayor of Second Life.
yeah, I can't. I mean, I'm doing everything that I can to be a good husband and sympathize with that. I just can't imagine, what it is to go through that. And I'm grateful for it because she's given me another child, and we're very blessed that it's happening. But man, it just
Yeah.
no.
It hit me in waves, but like there was definitely a moment like 7 months in when I saw my daughter's arm like move across my wife's
Oh yeah,
stomach.
when you see a foot.
Where I was like, oh, there's a living person inside you. This is some body horror shit. Also, Ben has
Whoa!
teleported into another dimension. So he's in
really
the
into Red Dead right now.
Ben's in the
with
dark
Yeah.
world.
White.
Ben's in the upside
How
down.
did that happen?
Yeah,
That is
you went
so-
to the upside down. Oh, your eyes are even glowing. That's amazing. Like it's catching your pupils just right.
Oh,
That's
so
great.
weird. I don't know what I did.
You went to the
What's
underground. Under what? Upside down.
Reset to default.
It's grayed out. I didn't do anything.
Caleb, did you even get eggnog? God, fucking.
I tried.
Tried.
I
You
did
had
try.
4 hours.
You
You
And
played
guys,
out
you know, I had to make
You left the
dinner.
house and got a flat
You-
tire.
I had to make dinner,
for 4 hours.
and I had to be with my family for a little bit.
Grubhub, buddy.
And what the? I'm not Grubhubbing a bottle of fucking eggnog. I'm not a loser.
Favor. Do you guys have favor up there?
What
Or
is
is
that?
just a
No, never
Tex-
heard of
no,
that.
I think that's just a Texas thing then.
Yes, only people in Texas do favors from each other. And when I did get a chance to finally go out, I went to Walgreens and 2 gas stations, and I didn't have any eggnog. And Aldi was already closed, and I wasn't driving 30 minutes to Walmart.
Ben is just losing his mind over there.
Yep.
Dixon City did not.
It's a
have
good thing. It's a good thing people listen to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy the light show. For you listening, yeah.
For you listening, you have no idea why we're laughing. Yeah. But yo, it's another episode of Bounty Board. It's the Nogcast.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's litmus.
It's litmus because having that's weird because litmus is a thing, like a litmus test is a thing. Anyway, it's Merry Litmus. It's our Christmas Nogcast, and we are going to talk about our favorite Christmas memories as Christmas video game memories as our main topic. But before that, I wanted to get the temperature on you guys for the Game Awards last week because none of y'all were around when I was doing that.
Well, first off, what we're actually going to do is I'm going to drink eggnog for the first time so I can actually...
Oh shit!
Right.
Drink.
Oh shit! Yes, that needs to happen. That needs to happen.
Here it comes.
All
Get
right,
the clips ready.
let's do it. Ready?
So,
Everybody, get ready to clip it on the
Just a
stream.
non-spiked eggnog.
I hope he vomits
Non-spiked.
uncontrollably. Go ahead.
oh, that's delicious.
There.
Nice.
That's
Cheers.
delicious.
For the win. It's like a melted milkshake.
Yep.
All right, so that's the non-spike. So we'll see if I did the right concoction for this.
Oh my god. The spiked one's like twice as big.
It's pretty good.
It only
Right.
gets more delicious when you add alcohol.
I added a little bit too much alcohol, but it's still good.
No such thing.
Well,
And
Ben was
eggnog.
like, "Yeah, it's like 2 ounces," and I was like, "This?"
No, it's ounces if you want to taste it.
Blah 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 blah. Okay, so we have successfully converted someone else to eggnog. That is good. I am happy and pleased.
It's delicious.
Now Game Awards. Y'all watched them, I assume.
I did. Yes. I watched
I watched something.
about half of it live, and watched the other half after the fact. But yes.
And
Thoughts?
Oh, I didn't know that was next.
Yeah, so we're talking about. I said I was gonna get the temperature on you guys, based on what
Oh, I
you.
didn't-
Yeah.
the Shadow Realm is
I didn't
the
feel
Shadow Realm is
thermometer in me, so,
the Shadow Realm is sucking his.
Did you
Oh,
say
wait,
you
he's
didn't feel the
energy away.
thermometer in you?
A little bit
Yes.
brighter.
I'm trying to fix it, guys. It's really sucking my attention away from the podcast. I'm so sorry.
So all right, somebody else answer. Somebody else answer their thoughts on the
Ben is-
Game Awards
Ben is
while he's
black and
fixing
white
it.
right now.
Yeah.
So
I've watched
anybody cares.
a good portion of it. I haven't watched it. I went back and watched. I went and reviewed the awards that night. Kicked off my stream that way last Thursday, and then I watched all of the trailers that came out. I teared up a little bit for Senua's
really?
Saga. I'm super excited for that one. It just conjured up memories of playing through the first game.
Ooh, that trailer is fucking bananas.
And yeah, it is. I
It's
hope.
all captured in engine.
Yep. Yeah, watch out there. The one thing that I have a little bit of pause about is I hope they don't turn it into like a generic action title, right? I hope it still
Sure.
has the weight and the gravitas that the first game had with me.
Sure.
I mean, I would be happy with it because the sword. What I would love to see them do is improve upon the combat, The first one, the combat was a little bit simplistic. Even like I breezed through it on hard mode, the hardest difficulty setting. I'd like to see them make it a little bit more dynamic. I just want the story to have the same weight that the first one did. And we'll see. I mean, if anybody can do it, Ninja Theory can do it. So,
Right.
and then the other trailer that really struck me was Godfall, but that is a PC PS5 exclusive, and that's the one that Gearbox is publishing. It's a melee combat looter game, and I'm kind of like, ooh,
Yeah. They said a looter slasher, and I heard lunar slasher, and then got so fucking excited, and then heard them talk about loot and went, oh,
Right.
Oh.
fuck. I was so pumped for a second. Real quick aside about Senua. Melina Jurgens, who plays Senua, was a fucking video editor at Ninja Theory, y'all.
Oh,
And
right.
they didn't have anybody to voice act or mocap, and she did it, and then she won an award for her performance.
Right.
And now look at that fucking trailer and her face capture. What a fucking talent. And she was
Yep.
a video editor, but just boop.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
there you go. Here, check this out.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's amazing. I'm trying to think what other game really stood out in those announcements outside of the Series X, which, you know, just take my money, Microsoft. You can have it.
Take it. No.
The design is.
It's a frag box. I mean, it's what
Yeah.
Microsoft has been moving to with the Xbox since Bill Gates said we're going to be in every house.
But Xbox
every
looks
room in the house.
good. The Xbox One X looks good.
It
This
doesn't.
Xbox looks good.
I don't think it looks
It's not
bad.
gonna fit in most entertainment centers.
It's a good thing I don't put mine in an entertainment center.
But if you think about the trend in home electronics, right, everything is a column, right? Look at Apple TV, look at Fire TV, look at Alexa, look at Google Home.
Same thing.
Right, it's just a upwards like small profile. We still don't know how big the box is. There was a picture online of somebody that put it next to a banana and put it next to the Xbox One X, and it was
In
not.
the
It was
kitchen as a fridge.
yeah, and you know on the beach for the apes to scream at in Space Odyssey. That was my favorite one. Somebody.
I mean, it looks 3 times bigger than a controller if they're proportionate. If the controller is proportionate to the actual box itself.
Right.
I don't
It's as tall as the
Pretty tall.
Xbox One X is now.
Yep. Yeah, if you stand the Xbox One X up, it's as tall.
Yeah.
But then
This is.
3 of them deep.
It's not 3 controllers deep. It's about a controller
Okay,
wide and
so-
3 tall.
All right, so 2 Xboxes wide.
Look, we're all gonna get it.
Yeah, we
So I don't
are.
know what we're bitching about.
I don't know.
Everybody's gonna get it.
I can. say
Everybody's
that I
gonna
don't
sit
want
it into. Everybody's gonna sit next to a monitor and plug a mouse and keyboard into it, and everybody's gonna have a $600 PC because that's essentially what Microsoft is going to.
Ben loves the design.
I think it's great.
I don't
He
know if I
also
love it,
likes
but
the Tesla truck.
that's true.
Oh boy, let's fight about aesthetics. Ready, set, go.
I don't have a problem with the Tesla truck if I was playing Cruising USA. I mean, but you know,
No, it's not the first. I've sold computers before. It's not the first cube computer I've ever
Yep.
seen. So it wasn't even shocking to me. I'm like, oh, that's neat. Like, it's a matter of fact. I'm like, oh, they went that direction. Cool. Now, if it was a ball or something, I'd be like, oh, well,
Oh god.
you know. But it's
just a
literally
ball.
not the first cube computer I've ever seen.
He just rolls away.
no. Apple had a.
I didn't even know it was worth memeing until I was on the internet. I'm like, oh, of course, we're gonna take this ball, even though it's a square, and run with it. Do you like what I did there?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was with you.
I like that you pointed it out too.
What gets you going more, Ben? The shape, the memes of the Xbox Series X, or Bowsette?
Wow, good memory. Bowsette was a flash in the pan because I learned that something it doesn't matter.
Did you say
But-
Bowsette flashed her cans?
Yes. Nice. No, that somebody like corrected me and it made sense. I'm like, all right, well, that's done, I guess.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, now I'm trying to remember what else there was that was really noteworthy. I mean,
I thought
we
Mankind looked dope.
Mankind, that was what I was thinking of. Yeah, Mankind looks great.
Now that I have a PC that's worth a damn, getting into 4X games sounds fun.
Yep. And then
Somewhat worth a damn.
Hey, real quick, should I leave and come back, see if it fixes it?
You did that once.
No, I didn't. I just turned the camera off.
What do you mean leaving? Oh, like the call?
Yeah.
Bye.
and then there were 3.
Except Ryan's face is completely covered by the bounty board logo.
Yeah.
This is such good audio.
We're making it happen, guys.
Yeah, we're making it happen. Ryan, what'd you think about the Game Awards, my dude?
I enjoyed it. Congrats to Sekiro.
Ryan? I did not see
Hey.
that. Hey, he's like white again.
I'm in the 20th century, 21st century. Yeah. Something. What century is this?
22nd.
Cool.
No, I actually like the
No,
Gears
it's
of War.
not.
Am I not, just not talking here?
No, you're good. Sorry,
sorry.
Ben just realized
Oh.
it's not the 22nd century.
Yeah, Gears. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah.
Gears Tactics did look dope.
Gears
Yes.
Tactics
Yeah.
looks super good.
Yeah.
Super excited about that. I'm excited about the League of Legends stories. Ruin King and the Regents. Is that what it is?
It was Ruined
Something like
King and then... Ooh, this futuristic one.
Yeah. Dude, I'm
Yeah,
super
Resurgence or
excited
something like
about
that?
those. Like,
Resurgence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that League of Legends is actually doing something more with what they have. Like they had such a big backstory and nothing with it. Like
Yeah.
like they put all these. They had like a bunch of trailers that they put out every time that there's like a new update that adds more and more to each.
Really
to each
awesome
story.
animated shorts.
Yeah, but they don't. They don't have like just a long storyline. Like you could do like Clone Wars with like if they did a Clone Wars version of League of Legends, like the animated series, that would be freaking amazing.
It would be
If they
dope.
did something in that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that League of Legends is actually stepping out and doing all that. Humankind looks super dope too.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Are you aware they're making an animated show or not?
No.
They are.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That could
well
be-
no, I knew that, but like I was just comparing like if they had a whole like huge series like Clone Wars was that was super long that everybody was all involved with, like that would be amazing and they would,
I guess
it
we
would
have yet to
everybody
see.
would pick it up.
Yeah, who knows?
See how big and
Yeah, big it
in-depth
is.
this animated series will be.
Could go
My,
on
one
forever.
of one of the people who follows my stream pretty closely was incredibly excited at the trailer for the animation.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I
New
didn't
World was the other
see-
one.
I didn't see much else. I think the Fast and Furious game doesn't look all that great.
oh, what is up with that?
It's so Half-Life Alex pulled out the day of the show, so they had to fill it with something.
I could, not good enough. Sorry, that looked awful.
Oh yeah, it did.
Not ready.
It looked real bad.
That was not ready.
Yeah.
Or it is ready, and it's gonna come out bad because most licensed things
looked
come
like a
out bad.
It looks like I didn't bother
It looked like a
watching
game
it.
from 3 years ago, 5 years ago.
It looked like a PS2 game, my dude.
Yeah. That's
That looked like
terrible.
Midnight Club Dub Edition.
Love-a-dub-dub edition.
Midnight
Lub-a-dub
Club
edition.
Fast Furious Edition.
But we can all sleep better knowing I'm sure the entire internet attacked him for it and made them all aware of how bad their trailer.
I hope the internet didn't attack them and then said nothing, so then they have no idea what we think.
Sheesh, which is worse.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that's all I got from the Game Awards. Like I like the releases. I didn't really pay attention to who won much. I saw Sekiro won Game of the Year, so that's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
The Disco Elysium pulled a bunch of wins out of its ass I didn't think it would get either.
No kidding. That seemed to come out of nowhere.
I mean, that game's incredible, but I didn't think they'd win Best RPG, Best Narrative, Best like Fresh Indie Studio, and Best
Yeah.
Indie Game of the Year. Like, they won 4 awards.
Yeah, that's it. I do think other studios deserve some awards, but I am also happy that such a small studio with such an unassuming game got so much love and attention. So that's
Yeah.
If you have not played Disco Elysium, do it. It's so good.
What systems are is it available?
PC.
Just PC?
Yeah. Hopefully
that
something
makes
else
sense,
later.
dude.
It seems like it would be
Right.
very doable.
Oh, what was that? Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, whatever. Space. It's a space sim. Very pretty. PC only, but has been announced on Switch, PS4, and soon, not soon, but Xbox eventually.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Is that Empyrean? Is that what you're... No, that's Warframe. Sorry.
Imperium is Warframe.
Imperium came out today. I'm very happy.
Yep.
Is that why you wanted the show to wrap?
Yes.
That's stupid. Stupid.
We said this off camera, so I'll say it again. Empyrean launched today, which is the thing I haven't shut up about in months and months. They gave us the precursor to that a week ago, which let you build your ship, but not fly it. But I built it, I think, minus maybe 10 to 12 hours as fast as you possibly could. And it's ready today at midnight. And just so happens that Empyrean, the update needed to pilot your ship, comes out today. So I think they planned it so that it came out right after the fastest, as fast as you could possibly build one. Because like I said, I was 12 hours off. So pretty cool. So they gave us the update that lets you build it, and then as soon as it was possibly done for anybody, the actual update came out. So my whole clan of like 3 people is waiting for me at midnight.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You and Nan better stream that shit.
And you?
I should put my camera back in on my Xbox. As unready as my Xbox room is visually, I'm going to probably be making a lot of faces and noises while we pilot into this.
Like that.
Yeah.
The just so you know, the Aver capture box is on sale right now. It's like $60 off on Amazon. It's the external.
And is that one worth a damn?
Oh yeah, the Aver's making great products right now. In fact, I would argue that the Aver standalone unit is much better than the HD60X S from Elgato because it does 4K 60 for $130.
Not too.
But is it a pass
and
through or a capture box?
It's pass through.
Not too keen on moving my Xbox into my office. I like leaving my office to play video games. So,
Yeah, no, fair enough.
yeah, I'd have to get another streaming PC for my game room, which is a cool concept.
Mhm.
Not very good radio. What else do you guys want to talk about?
No, I mean, was there anything else at the Game Awards that we wanted to talk about? Reggie Fils-Aimé got on stage and didn't announce the new Metroid project, and everyone was pissed about that.
Yeah.
Zing was
I
hurting.
still like seeing him.
Oh, it was so good to see him on stage. It was like, oh,
He hadn't missed a
Reggie,
beat.
my body is ready.
The chat, because I can't help but watch the chat while we're streaming, was a little vicious against Jeff, probably because they're underage morons. But I love everything he does. It hasn't always been that way. He was a bit of a turd back in the day, but like I like him unabashedly now. I think he feels genuine, and
Yeah, apparently he's been
takes a lot of work.
Apparently he's been hustling since he was like 16.
Yeah.
Like people said the first time they met him, like Cliff Blazinski met him the first time, like was interviewed by him when he was like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
And he's just never stopped.
Yeah, him and Kevin Pereira apparently are liked generally by most people they meet. Kevin Pereira is pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Ex-host of Attack of the Show.
Yeah, where'd he go? What's he doing now?
I don't recall the last I've seen of him, but he's like, you never know with hosts of Attack of the Show if they're actual nerdy or if they were just hired because, they're good on stage or they look good or whatever, but this
Yeah.
dude, like, die hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
And Sessler's
copying shareware back in the day.
Yeah, and Sessler's off doing like publishing or something now.
I don't know what he's doing, but he's very vocal on Twitter and he's very bitter.
Yeah. I think he's had a rough year. But anyway.
Fun little side story. I did just a couple of press events when I was press back in '01, and we went to an IndyCar race in Phoenix, and I got to hang out with Adam Sessler.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Is that why you're so bitter?
Yeah, sure.
He rubbed off on you while you were there?
Whoa.
All over me.
Not God.
Extraordinary men.
Yep.
Plowing your neighbors.
That's our new thing, apparently.
He is a little eccentric. You can tell just watching him present, but he's always at 11.
Yeah.
The energy is just kind of like always on. He's supercharged. It's pretty interesting.
You know, 11's really not that loud. I mean, if you turn your volume up on your TV to 11, it maxes out at 40, so it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, it's a good point there, Ryan.
So, I mean,
You're saying he was calm and reserved and barely audible. Yes, that's what I was saying.
most old people have to turn their hearing aids up at 11, so.
I don't know where to go from here. Like, I don't know what to do.
Hey,
I'm following up with another
I've been
Spinal Tap
drinking since
reference.
3, so.
Yeah.
Fun.
So, Game Awards happened. Fucking Top Gun trailer 2 happened. That's the thing.
Shoot, that trailer is
Woo.
so good.
Yeezy's.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's a fun little fact. So
Nope.
you're not allowed to fly military planes personally. What are you doing? Stop that.
I will.
So you're not allowed to fly military planes. I don't know their strict rules, but for whatever reason, they couldn't fly a military plane shooting Top Gun. So to film him in a jet, they filmed him in a jet, just not a military plane. And then they superimposed him in an F-18 or whatever. So
Huh.
Tom Cruise, whatever doing what he does, filmed himself flying probably a little trainer jet for all those maneuvers. So he's actually fighting the G-forces and stuff like that for those scenes, most likely.
Doing the old
That's
gut
cool.
grunt.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah. Yep.
Tom Cruise has got a great gut grunt.
He's movie ruined now.
He's a
Thanks,
really
Dave.
extraordinary man. Oh shit! I'm progressing through Star Wars. Ben, I don't know how far I am, so I will tell you. I just beat Terran. Oh my God, what's his last name?
What stage?
Or Dathomir, the Wanderer.
Oh,
Terran something.
you're pretty far.
Okay.
You're pretty far. That was probably one of the hardest fights.
Until I beat him, and then I didn't get fucking touched, and I was like, oh, okay. I
you're
died
saying
like 6 or 7
After
times.
the boss fight, you didn't get hurt.
Huh?
You said after you beat him, he didn't touch you.
Until I beat him. The run where I beat him, he didn't touch me.
Oh, I see what you
I
mean.
died like 20 times and then was like,
Yeah.
"Eep," just ran right through him. Yeah.
You forgot to jump, I think it was.
No, I forgot the slow. So Ryan was listening to me while I was playing this today. The giant bat on Kashyyyk. No, the giant bat's also on Dathomir. The giant bat. I forgot I had a
That was
jump
great
button.
fight. That was straight out of God of War. That was so great.
Yeah, that fight was dope. I
Yeah.
forgot I had a jump button, so it was doing shockwaves that were killing me, and I was like, "How the fuck do I dodge these?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Hey Ryan, guess what? Forgot I had a jump button." And then fighting this guy, he is relentless.
Yeah.
And just keeps coming after you. And I kept trying to like dodge away and heal, and I couldn't. And I died like the 4th or 5th time, and the game was like, press RB to slow your enemy to heal. And I was like, oh yeah, I have a slow ability.
I don't think I ever used that to
I'm-
heal myself. I definitely slowed them, but I never used it in conjunction with healing.
Yeah, just pop it and go, okay, good. All right, we're fine. That game's super dope. What is
Yeah.
that? I'm gonna be bugged about Terran's name, so I'm gonna Google it. But we can go ahead and talk Terran Malicos because that name's fucking dope. Terran Malicos. So Ben, you came up with the topic for tonight, right? Was that you or was that Eric?
I
Has been.
think it was me, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Ben.
Okay.
So why don't
100.
you introduce people to your topic and then give us an example or a part of your example?
I'm going to start at the beginning so that my mind can catch up to the rest. My idea was to share holiday stories about video games.
Yes.
As I've grown up with video games and every generation of video games since the Atari, every Christmas probably another system or a big video game release. So I do remember one of my first Christmases where we had an Atari and I thought it was stupid. It was like 82 or 83. I don't know how, probably maybe possibly even 84. and I just wasn't impressed. It was too basic, too simple. But there was nothing. It was strange because there's nothing else to compare it to. Nintendo didn't exist till '85, so Atari was like it, baby. But we had
Yeah.
like pole position and ET, and I'm just sort of like, there just wasn't much to it.
Yeah.
And that's really my first video game
You didn't
memory.
you owned an Atari and didn't have Pong?
I mean, we probably did, but
Okay.
That's not the one that stood
that
out.
probably came with it. Yeah, a black and white game with moving sticks. You know,
Or Adventure?
I don't recall Adventure, to be honest.
Hmm.
I remember Berserk, which is a
Mhm.
weird one.
Joust?
Probably had Joust at some point, but my memory is I have a really shit memory, so I'm pretty sure at some point I had Joust somewhere in my life, so I don't want to misalign it with
Right.
having the actual cart.
Yep.
But I do remember Pole Position and ET, which is pretty remarkable considering the life of that game had, the story of ET. But I do remember not being that interested and rather play with my GI Joes and crayons. So
Going outside and playing.
just going
So
outside.
like, yeah, here's this video game. Nah, I'd rather just go outside.
That all changed with the Nintendo, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Do you have a? Can you reach back to your first video game memory? Anybody?
Ryan looks
Anybody?
deep in thought.
Well, me and Caleb were actually talking about this earlier, and like my memories of like childhood are like very broken.
Yeah.
Like I've got a lot of I've had a lot of head injuries, and like it actually shows to what my memory can recall.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a lot of times that I have like a lot of like video game like shoot in school like I realize that if I'm not passionate for something I don't pay attention,
Sure.
so then therefore I don't remember what goes on, so like school was really difficult, that kind of stuff. but like I remember unboxing like the N64 and getting like Mario Kart and that kind of
Nice.
stuff on Christmas Day, and being able to play that kind of stuff with my brother. And then we got the PS1, but it was that like portable version. Like you could buy a screen for it and everything
Oh wow.
that attached to it. We got that a few years later, whenever that released.
So it was the one that was called PS1, like ONE.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So and we were able to like so on trips
Yeah,
we'd
that-
like plug it into the
ahead of its
car and
time.
we'd be able to watch the screen, like be on the screen and play. It was kind of cool.
That's ahead of its time, wasn't it? Sheesh.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, way ahead of its time.
Well,
But like
now.
then it jumps like 10 years from there, like video game wise, because and like I think it's more of I was doing that to have fun, and then like I finally got like that passion for it to where like I just do it all the freaking time, and
Sure.
I think about it all the time. So yeah, probably the first unboxing of a system would be the N64.
That's wild. I don't remember my unboxing of the 64. I do remember not having an expansion card or card.
Yeah,
'Cause
we
it had a
went
little
to
flap on the front.
we went to play Donkey Kong 64, and you needed to have that one, so my
Yeah.
mom got mad that she had to go buy it.
Yep. You needed that for South Park too, of all things, which was probably
Yeah.
next to GoldenEye one of the greatest games on that system because you could shoot someone up a cow's ass.
Don't
Yep.
think I've ever known that until today.
Has everybody played Conker's Bad Fur Day, by the way?
Yep.
Well, yeah, for a while
Awesome.
back in the day.
Eric or Caleb, first video game memory.
So my first video game memory was we actually had an Intellivision,
Nice.
which predates the Atari.
That's right.
You want to talk about pieces of shit
Fun.
that don't?
Do you remember the manufacturer? That's like 20 of them.
Yeah, it was the Panasonic.
Okay.
I want to say. Yeah.
Nice.
I remember my dad bringing it home one day, and my mom being furious with him, and him plugging it in, and like to your point, Ben looked at it just like, what the hell? Because it was too simplistic. There was just nothing there, and I was like, okay, this is great. And then I went back outside and played.
If any listeners are unaware, some of these systems are so old, they were only black and white. And you had to put a color filament on your screen to give
Yep.
the game color,
Yep, it was amazing.
like an overlay.
Nice.
Sometimes it's a map, sometimes it's the maze, and because it's just you're moving light across the screen, you had to move the light through the maze and pretend there were walls there.
Yep.
Like,
Wait, so you could just like skip it if you wanted to?
Yeah, if you wanted to just go straight through, yeah, you just drive straight through it. It was unbelievable.
I don't know if I think the Intellivision was color though. I don't think
Yeah.
it applies to this one.
We didn't have a color TV yet though, so we didn't get a color TV until I was like 6, which I was born in '81. I'm not that old, so that's pretty shocking in and of itself. My dad was really holding on to the TV. He just loved it.
Well, that's interesting because like the it's a good chance the Intellivision costed as much as a television,
Yeah, no, totally.
which is
Don't-
confusing if I even said that
This
right.
is-
But like,
yeah.
if it was 3 to, here's an ad right here. Intellivision, $238 back in 1981 or whenever this was. No, you're born in 81, but
Yeah.
uh,
What's that now? What would that be now?
$38. Let's just say 1985 to now.
That thing's got to be like
$500-600.
no more.
$238. Oh, that's 1914. Hold on.
Good job. Somehow that worked. Ben's like, we're
My
in the
next-
22nd century, right?
My next memory though was
It's $567 now.
yeah, nice.
So that's a really expensive Christmas gift
Yeah.
for a child.
No, but that wasn't the Christmas gift. He just came home with it. But later, my most fond video game memory still, I think, is when I got my Nintendo because I had gotten, if you guys remember a few episodes ago, I was prescribed a Nintendo, and because I had a really bad eye tracking issue.
I missed that.
Yeah, so my mom's doctor or my pediatrician, and my mom's always been, kind of holistic doctors, and he was like, you know what, why don't you try this? Because he was big into figuring out ways to do things without medicine and stuff like that, and because the Nintendo forced you to focus on one thing on the screen, that's what he said. Why don't you give this a shot? Because he had read an article about it that a colleague of his had done. And I was like, oh, let's go get one. And she's like, no. And I was convinced that I wasn't going to get it. And then I opened it up Christmas morning, and there it was with the Mario Zelda combo, Duck Hunt, the blaster, 2 controllers. I mean, they went all, whoa, shit, Ryan. Everybody messing with their camera settings.
Yeah, I thought I was going to zoom in on his face and he was going to be making a face, but instead he was just like, ugh. For those of you who are listening to this, it makes no sense, but Eric is just in the middle of sharing his story, and Ryan's camera zoomed into his face about 4 times.
Yep.
Oh, man.
That was a good one. I've got another one that I'll tell a little bit later after Caleb goes. That was probably the first time. It was the first time my parents really realized what video games were capable of and whether or not I should truly be allowed to play them. But go ahead, Caleb.
Damn.
We'll follow it up
All
later.
right. No, I've got a couple. I don't have any, like, huge ones.
We're talking first one right now.
Oh, okay. My bad. I stepped away for a second. So, first one.
We're talking about the cherry pop.
So
First one is
we'll loop back to me. Mine was not my cherry pop. It was my first memory,
Okay. All right.
not my cherry pop.
Got it.
Can we stop
Fair
describing it that way? That'd be great.
That's not very accurate either.
You're right.
Continue the joke.
Oh, no.
Someone touch my spaghetti. Okay, sorry. No, there's a the first memory I have is getting a Sega Genesis for Christmas. Although it might have been my birthday.
Yeah. So Caleb's birthday.
I was 7. My birthday's 10 days before Christmas. My birthday
Right.
was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
3 days ago. 3 days ago.
We're not gonna
We
say
know. How old are you?
I'm not telling y'all. Eric, I'm not answering that fucking question with you in the chat. All right? I'm not 12, you piece of shit.
It was so good. The best part of that story is, hold on. I had sent him a text earlier, and I had the tweet teed up, and happy birthday text, and I was waiting for him to reply to me on the text message before I sent the tweet, And then the second he said thanks, I hit send on the tweet.
So I send thanks, put my phone down, and here, so I pick it back up to see if he replied, and I see a tweet that says, "Hey, our editor in chief's 12 today."
Happy birthday to our favorite EIC at Lubwub.
And then
He's 12
he just
today.
texted me, ha space ha.
And I was like,
I
I've been
hate
waiting for it all day. Because I had sent the happy birthday tweet like 2 hours, or the happy birthday text like 2 hours before you replied. And I was just sitting there going, I'm going to wait.
It worked.
Anyway. it did.
No, so I got a Sega Genesis. It might have been for my birthday, but it was around the Christmas time, and I remember getting Sonic 1 and 2 with it, I think.
Okay.
And I remember I also, was it Sonic and Tails that had the opening in the top?
Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah.
And
Yes, and then you could put Sonic 1 or 2 into it, and then you could play through all those levels with Knuckles.
with Knuckles.
Yep.
I had that as well, and I remember, Ben, I asked you for the sheet of the cheats, and you gave it to me, but said I had to beat it before I used any of them, and I promptly went home and played through the entire game as Supersonic.
Nice.
I did not play the game before I used them. I was like, but like,
I tried.
I could be a god now.
Why wait?
Yeah, so
That's how I am. That's how I am with Sai. I'm not letting him use cheats. I'm not letting him look at things up on the internet. He's gonna play, and he's almost 5 years old, almost all the way through Ori, on his own.
Nice.
Just a little bit of help from me.
Ori's so
Um,
dope.
Oh, it's so good. I need to get a Nintendo though. The kid's got no idea how easy he's got it. Anyway,
Yeah. Start giving them games that make you cry, like Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Contra, Ninja Gaiden.
Right. Contra.
Fatal
you can
Frame.
well, I guess you can memorize Ninja Gaiden too, but
Yeah.
Contra's a cakewalk in comparison.
Spaghetti.
Ryan, what did you already share your first memory?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Ben, what's the second phase? What's
All right,
phase 2
so-
of your Christmas cinematic
Phase 2
universe?
is where shit went forever. Because point forward, nothing was ever the same. So right after the video game industry was about to collapse on itself, Nintendo came out in '85 and revitalized it for all time. So my parents were on that bandwagon, got us a Nintendo Entertainment System, the very first one, and they gave me, of course, it came with Mario, but I think I got a Mega Man, and I don't know why they chose that, but they chose wisely. And
Did
my
he
mom and
look
I-
like these?
Yes. Not on the cover of the box. If anybody wants a good laugh, look up the cover art for Mega Man 1. It's
Is it weird?
it's super.
It is. Isn't it like 80s movie posters? More.
No, it's like 4-year-old drawing poster.
Oh, okay. That's yeah.
One of these things is not like the other.
I'll put it in the chat.
Hey, look at that. He's got the 8-bit Sonic.
Seen it.
Put your Mega Man back up.
I'll put it
No,
in the.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh my. One leg is a lot bigger than the other, and they look like they're on the same plane.
Yeah, sorry for that big old link Twitch, but
Oh, what a spoopy link.
yeah. So it's bad, guys. It's not even purposely bad. It's just accidentally awful. It's a grown man with no neck, with a handgun, which looks like I don't know. He's actually like Mega Man's got an arm cannon, but this guy's carrying like a freaking pistol that you have to reload. It's a mess.
Oh
It's
my
just
god, that
I-
box
this
is
is-
so
but
bad.
This is a
On this.
yeah. This is a time though when gaming was a novelty, and nobody thought that it was going to turn into what it did.
Sure, sure.
I mean, the Nintendo had come out, and everybody. I remember, I was looking at some news clips earlier from back when watching reporters talk about the Nintendo and just the condescending tone in the voices of these
General
newscasters.
disdain, yeah.
Yeah, okay, this is the hot toy. Next year, it's going to be forgotten. And now you look at it 30 years later, and it's like the hottest
Almost
item.
40 years later.
Yeah, almost 40 years later, right? It is every Christmas. Okay, what games do you want? What's the new hot ticket? Okay, let's get. I mean, Melissa and I were sitting there and we went through. I remember when we were getting the Amazon cart all sorted out, and there's clothing in there for both of my kids that is video gamed up, and this is my 9-year-old daughter and my 5-year-old son. And I'm sitting there thinking about when I was their age, like, fuck, I would have had to murder a goat in Satan's name to get my parents to buy anything with a video game character on it.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Oh, can we have a worse
Let
Christmas memory too? Can we have
let
a worse
alone-
one?
Yeah, we definitely need to do that.
Let alone find it
Yeah, sure,
at
sure.
that point in time.
The moment that broke the dam was the Nintendo, and they thought, just like the Atari, that I'll go cool and I'll do something else and I'll walk away from it.
Nope, wrong.
9 hours later, I came up for air.
What was the game?
I believe it was Mega Man 2.
Mine was Zelda.
Mega Man 1 if possible. I don't recall having Zelda. I think if I got the system and it was fresh in like 85, 86, I think that game's a bit too advanced for me, at least when I was 5 or 6.
Yeah, they got it for me anyway because my parents don't know. Even with my kids, they don't know age appropriateness. They're buying Cyanella things. They bought Cy.
Here's a box of cigars, kiddo.
They bought him a Lego set that clearly on the box says 10 to 12 years old.
Mhm.
So, the thing's got 5,000 pieces. So there I am putting the Lego set together last year because Cy wants to play with it. It was the Lockwood Mansion, by the way, from Jurassic World. The thing is huge.
Right.
So they
You
never
had
they
fun
don't
putting together Legos, though. Don't get me wrong.
No, I did, and it's
Oh,
a great because Cy's he's right there with me doing it. Right, it's not like he's running around the living room and I'm just doing it. He's all into it and playing with the Indoraptor and jumping around. And then at one point he knocked it off the coffee table when I was putting it together, and that was not good. Where are we going with this? Open the floodgates. No, to answer Ben's question, I was just an anecdote there. The open the floodgates for me was probably Legend of Zelda, right? Which still to this day is what drives my loot style. I love finding things in game and finding the flame sword and then finding everything else in that game. It took me many, many years to get to a point where I was actually able to do it and find it. But that was the one Nintendo game that I kept coming back to, and then Genesis, and then what was it on the Genesis? I don't remember now. That's one of my head injuries.
Sonic was mind blowing. When
it was.
Sonic was announced and showed off, like it was fast and colorful and Sonic was incredible. I remember that much. But one of the greatest things about that generation was that you could go to Blockbuster and rent a game.
Yep.
And
Or Hollywood Video.
Yeah.
And if they didn't have the game, boy, too bad.
Yep.
Not anymore. That's what I'm saying. Kids these days, they don't understand. They don't get it. They don't get it. It's too fucking easy.
Weekend for $3? Could you imagine that?
And then if you lose it, it costs 4 times retail value because that's what Blockbuster would charge you. No wonder they're out of business. No wonder they're out of business. Do you guys want me to tell you my moment where my parents realized what video games actually were?
I don't know what that means, but
Okay,
I'm
well,
curious. Yes, please.
So we're gonna fast forward a little bit. This is PlayStation 2 was out and Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, and they got it for me for my birthday, and I didn't have a TV in my room yet, so I'm downstairs playing it where the PlayStation was, and I put it in, and it had already been out for a little bit, so I knew exactly how to go to the hot coffee. So with both my parents sitting in the living room, just paying attention, I go and I drive over to where I need to go. I had, gotten enough cash to acquire services, And then I initiated the hot coffee incident and got up and just went and got a drink of water because I knew it was coming. And then watched my mom jump up and go, "What the hell is going on the TV right now?" And I go, "That's the game. You guys just got me for my birthday. It's fine. Don't worry about it." And she goes, "This is ridiculous. I can't believe." Oh God! And then I got the PlayStation taken away for a week. It was fucking.
That's
not great.
interesting. I don't know. So that was San Andreas, and San Andreas was released when? 2004.
Yeah.
So
No, when was 4 released? Hold on. What am I thinking of? Yeah, no, I was. Yeah, no, I didn't have a TV in my room because I was home from college. That's what it was.
okay, that makes more sense. Thought you had a time machine for a minute there.
Nope.
What oh shit. What did my mom buy me that when she had that same realization?
I have not seen that video, Panda. Please share it.
I think Doom. It wasn't Doom because I never owned a Doom. But I got Ben in a lot of trouble for Doom.
Yeah.
But my mom never.
It was Diablo, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was definitely Diablo.
Yeah. It was in our first house in St. Charles, and I would play Diablo with Caleb watching over my shoulder.
And I would promise that it would be fine.
Yeah, and of course the game's all about just ripping people in half and marching through hell. And the first boss is the butcher with body parts hanging all over the walls. He's like, "Oh, fresh meat," and stuff like that. And the game was pretty brutal, pretty violent. Like for the time, even now, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty visually shocking, just with the amount of gore. And let's see, when was that? Was first Diablo, right?
Yep.
Diablo 1 came out when?
97?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were what?
6.
6 years old. And
I had nightmares, and then I would tell on Ben.
I mean,
That's terrible.
You would tell on me, or you would just say that? Oh, we were playing Diablo.
Well, that's kind of telling on you.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess, but not one's intentional and one's like just explaining the situation. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was tense.
My dad used to get in that type of shit for trouble with my mom for that type of shit all the time. He'd let us watch Aliens or Predator with him, or Invasion of the Body Snatchers or The Thing. It's good for him. This is the guy that handed me my first sci-fi book at the age of 9, which was an Isaac Asimov book. And he was like, "You're gonna read it," and I was like, "Okay." And then he sat there as I stumbled through the unbelievably complex thought.
Yeah.
That is his writing style.
Good luck, kiddo.
And then he handed me Dune afterwards, and I was like, "Why didn't you hand me this first?
Oh, what a dick, man!
This was much easier." He goes, "See, now you know." I was like, "Oh, I understand your madness now, sir."
Okay.
Yeah, that's bananas. Frank Herbert is not an easy read. Ryan, what was your floodgate moment?
Floodgate, as in like.
What was the like?
Do what I'm doing now.
Yeah. What turned you into a lifer?
Which is snowplow neighbors.
Let's see. I think that would be when I got the first Xbox, and we got to play the Halo 1 demo that was on a demo disc that had like Splinter Cell, Halo 1,
so bad.
Oh shit!
and like 2 or 3 other games on it or whatever, and they had that demo level, which was actually a level from the game. It wasn't like this one that they added to it.
Right.
And what we were doing is me and my brother were playing together, and we got we started thinking a little more because we didn't have Halo, so we just kept playing it over and over again, and we got to the point of where we were like, you had to go into the caverns or whatever where like all the arc technology and shit is.
Right.
Well, we realized if we took 2 warthogs, we could run one up to the gate, and then we could slam the other one into it, and we could take the warthog down into the cave with us. and like we were just getting like super excited about like getting past something that the game had put there.
Oh my god, they put the whole game in here by accident.
Yeah. Well, no, and so what we did is we took to Warthog down there and literally just annihilated everything, and like we were just driving off the edges and like having a good time, and we would respawn with all of our Warthogs, and just we would play it for hours even though it was just a demo. But like my parents didn't buy that game. I don't remember what we had what other games we had to play, but yeah, I felt like it was really fun. I mean, Halo was obviously really, really good, but like the fact that like we started to think a little bit more about the game itself and wanted to do something, and we're like, dude, we can actually freaking do this. This is amazing.
For sure.
And we didn't really play much.
Where you think they should be in Halo was my favorite pastimes.
Do what now?
Trying to get the vehicle past where they stopped you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things to do.
Dude, it's
Yeah,
the
just
best.
sit there for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just like,
Yeah.
how can we do this? Maybe on this rock over here. Maybe if I drive real fast and you hit me at the same time.
Yeah.
If I put a ghost under it right here and wedge it under the wheel, and then I hit it with a plasma grenade, the ghost is gonna go under it and launch the Warthog.
Or if you get all your regular UNSC soldiers and kill them, so they drop their grenade.
Yep.
You get a big old pile of grenades together.
Yeah.
You're gonna ignite it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or you taunt the ghost you taunt the Banshee in Halo 2's bridge mission all the way through the tunnel until you go into that little like drainage tube, and then as soon as the checkpoint, like right before the checkpoint loads, you have to hijack it so that you checkpoint while you're in it, and then you can fly it out through it and go to the top of the architecture in the next area and pick up the Scarab gun, which is a plasma rifle that shoots Scarab shot.
Wow.
Yeah, you could fire it and stuff would go flying across the map.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Halo and
Oh,
their
yeah.
exploits, man. It's so
Yeah.
good. I remember
That's
playing Halo 3 or 4. No, not 4. 3 or Reach online. And I remember specifically like with friends, like maybe even with you, Ben, finding there was like a map that had like a raised metro portion, and you could jump on top of one of the like bombed out trucks and then jump on a person's head and then jump up through a hole in the geometry of the game of the level and walk across a glass ceiling.
Right.
And we like shoot down at people, but they couldn't shoot up at you or something like that. And I remember being like, "Oh, this is so great."
So here's a question in this vein for the group, since we're here for a minute. What was the first time, since we're on Halo, because that's 100% mine, but what was the first time you guys realized video games were not something that was going away? It was not going to be a fad. It was not going to be limited to, it's just something I do in my spare time. It's going to be a career, a lifelong passion, something I
Okay.
want to be
This-
competitive at.
That-
Yeah, it's all kind of the same. Yeah, it's all kind of the same thing. It's just, when was that moment that you guys looked at a game and said, "This is going to change the way entertainment really works"? Is the full.
Like a third question.
Probably Twitch.
These are all worth answering. I would say,
Twitch.
when did you think video games weren't going away? At what point did you want to dedicate at least a portion of your life to it? And at what point did it appear to be changing the face of entertainment?
Yep. There we go.
Twitch. When Twitch released, I feel like that's what it was for me, because like it's something that like people
Were you around when Twitch first came out? I'm just asking, because when Twitch first released, it was a nightmare landscape of
Yeah, but it's
ridiculous shit.
I mean, what do you mean? Like, what Twitch did what? At what
like
point?
like being able to like have people watch you play video games by you streaming it. Like obviously somebody thinks that games are big enough that
Yeah.
they're gonna put the money into a platform to where you can come in and play your video games for people to watch you.
Sure.
My memory is different. My
Okay.
memory is different because
That's
it
why-
was
that's
Justin
why it's
dot.
your memory and not mine.
Well, no. I was saying it was just.
Ryan's memory? That's weird.
No, I don't. I need some nostalgia.
Oh, dude, fuck that show. Oh my god.
So good.
Thanks for that.
No, see, what I'm getting, what I was challenging Ryan to is Justin.tv is where I jumped in to the Twitch world, which was the original, right? The original site.
I barely remember that.
And that was a hellscape of very questionable live stream content there.
Yeah,
So
smart.
I'm not trying to belittle Ryan. I'm just saying I was like, man, your entry point into Twitch is much later, where it's just interesting to me to hear somebody say Twitch is the thing when I remember what it was
Because
prior
for me,
to.
honestly, like I don't even think I really have that, but I mean I guess
Yeah.
that would be my moment, because
Yeah, makes sense.
I didn't really give a shit. I just played
Yep.
games. Like I mean, I wasn't one of those thinkers that's like, man, is this gonna be here in 10 years? You know, that
Yep.
kind of thing. I didn't care. I was just
Yep.
like, I just want my new game. Like, let me go get it.
Yep.
For me, honestly, I knew video games were going to be around forever, ever since the console wars. When
Yeah.
Sega and Nintendo and Sony were fighting, I was like, okay, this is a big deal. This is going to be around forever.
But did you know that then, or
Dazzle.
are you knowing that now?
No,
And you
then
didn't-
like
okay.
it was dominating every store.
I guess you guys were older when that was
a little,
happening.
just a little bit.
We,
but-
we
Yeah.
weren't-
yeah.
No, I agree with Ben on that. That's my moment as well, is when you go into school and you would argue with your best friend because he's got a Nintendo and you've got a Sega.
I organized
Or-
my friends that they would get the Nintendo products and I would get the Sega products, and,
Mhm.
there.
Yep.
And I always got stuck with the Sega products. But anyway,
That's okay.
Hey man, it means I don't own a Switch right now, and I'm not addicted to Mario. So
yeah, I do want a Nintendo for Christmas. But
Yeah.
what I will say, because this is comedy to me, the time where I felt that it could influence, like change the face of media, was when Mark Hamill was the main character in Wing Commander 3
Ooh.
with John Rhys Davies and
Yep.
Malcolm McDowell,
Mm-hmm.
all in live full motion video cutscenes.
It wasn't Sewer Shark for you?
It's about the same time, to be honest.
I know it is.
And what's the Night Trap? Remember
Yep.
Night Trap?
Yeah, that's when FMV was big, man. Everybody was using it.
When video games discovered full motion video and disc based media, I felt like that was it.
Mm-hmm.
They even had games where you're like driving a car, so you saw the hands and the wheel, and then it would be animated, and you'd see the road ahead of you, and there'd be like a semi truck pulling out in front, and then there'd be like a yellow arrow that goes blink, 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 and you had to hit the arrow that direction, and that would trigger the next animation.
yeah,
It
it's like a little choose your own adventure story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Dragon's Layers is like that, but you're controlling an animated feature. I thought that was it, man.
Yeah, I remember
It's like
unboxing the Sega CD and plugging it into the Genesis and going, man, this is an
I had all-
expansion. Oh yeah, and then the 32X came out.
What an
It
abomination!
was like,
The homunculi- Sega homunculi, they should have called it.
It's just, by the end of that console's life, it had morphed into some just giant. We're bitching about the Xbox Series X being big, but you guys don't remember the Genesis. And by the time it was done, you had it started out this wide, and then went this wide, and then all of a sudden was this tall because you had to plug the 32X in it if you wanted to play Doom 32X edition. But man,
What
couldn't
an
get those
abomination.
32-bit graphics on.
And it had 3 power supplies.
Yep.
So and it
What?
three was too big for even your most standard power strip.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Because everything had to have its own power. Nothing was.
Pictures
off
do not
the
explain how
Genesis.
massive and bulky this thing
Oh, it was unbelievable. I had to pull it out and plug the 32X in whenever I wanted to play it in the living room because it wouldn't fit in my parents' entertainment center. So I had to like pull it out, set it on the floor, plug the 32X in, plug the game in, and then play. Man, what a time!
all
What a
right.
time.
Damn. For me, what were the 3 questions? I gotta answer them quick because y'all got on the.
You felt video games
history.
weren't going away. What point did you think video games were going to change this entertainment? And then at what point did you? It's sort of a floodgate moment, but when did
watershed,
you decide
yeah.
that you were going to dedicate a portion of your life? To
So
video
there's
games?
a couple. It's a weird tie for the watershed moment because one of them is like running around Balam Gardens and Final Fantasy VIII,
Mhm.
and like going
Good
to
one.
classes and going to like the quad to hang out with friends and like going to the dance and being like, I want to be in this place.
With Renoa and Squall.
And Squall and Zane and or Zidane. Like all that stuff. I was like, man, it wasn't Zidane, it was Zell. Zell was the guy with the fucking face tattoo who said yo all the time. There was a period in my life where I said I said yo.
No, that was
a lot.
Final Fantasy X.
No.
Okay.
No, Zell's 8.
Okay. But I thought the guy there's a face tattoo in 10 also.
Okay. But the blonde boxer in 8 has like a Mike Tyson tattoo, but it's not just like the top half of his face, it's his whole fucking face. It's a tie between that and Ben on Christmas in like 2001. We were all at the house on Houston, but like Christian and Jesse and Christian were there. And it was like me, you, Christian, Nate, and Ian, and maybe someone else trading off and playing Crimson Skies.
Whoa.
Dude, that was such a good game.
And it was 4 controllers playing Crimson Skies on the TV in the basement. And I remember like flying the gyro.
Wait, that game was 4-player.
Dude, it was.
Guys, I'm sorry. You've been talking a lot about that isometric tactical game. Crimson something.
Oh, Crusader?
Yeah.
Crimson Crusader? No, not that one.
Okay, yeah, Crimson Skies. I'm on track.
Guys with the
Continue.
points, yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, that game was so
No,
good.
yeah,
That
not
was back
Crusader.
when- that was
Not
back-
Crusader. No Remorse. Crimson Skies.
That was back when Xbox Live just launched, man.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was the Christmas. We were all down there hanging out, and I remember like pissing off people by flying the gyrocopter, which was hard to see but strong. But if you hit it with like the side of your hand, it blew up like a glass can. Dude, that game was so fucking dope.
That and
Did they
Mecha
announce a
Assault.
remake?
What's up?
Did they announce a remake recently?
Maybe it's definitely
talked
backwards
about it.
compatible now. But
I want Mecha Assault, man, on backwards compatible list. Holy shit, that game was so good.
so
The thing about Crimson Skies was the Chicago level
Yeah.
with the blimps and stuff.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was young, and in the beginning, there's like nudity, and I was like, "Oh my god, games can have boobs too."
What?
The
Nolan North?
what?
Was Nolan North the
Maybe that's super young Nolan North. Well, not super young, but younger.
No, he was. Hold on.
No, while you're doing that,
Go ahead.
so Watershed was between those two. The moment I knew games were gonna change things, it's probably the day I cried finishing a Halo book
nice?
and being like, "Holy shit! Like this was written well." I've never cried reading a book. I haven't cried since reading a book. Something about that story fucked me up though, and I was like, "Yo, if games are gonna change fucking everything." And then, when was I sure I wanted to be involved in it in some way?
That's a tricky one, because like, does that mean I just want to play more, or does that mean like I'm going to be doing this the rest of my life? Or does that
No,
mean-
dude, Ryan and I can share one.
Same one.
We have the same fucking one.
Yep.
So our freshman year in high school, we'd known each other for like 3 weeks, and like for some fucking reason, I don't know whose idea it was even, but for some reason one of us had the courage to approach the other person.
We had
After-
biology class first hour.
Yeah,
It was me, you, Adam Chung. And
Yep.
that was the only decent people in that class. So we were like, all right, we'll hang out.
yeah. And then we got an assignment. So it was our chemistry class, not biology.
Well, no, but that's where we met.
But we had biology before that, and like the first week of chemistry class, our teacher told us that we were gonna have to pick elements for the year, right? And we were like, okay, fine. And so Ryan picked calcium, I picked tungsten. Weird, whatever. We did it. It seems fine. And it didn't really. Nothing came up from it for a couple weeks, and then about a month in, the teacher was like, "All right, so you guys have to write like a 3-page paper or some shit about your element and what it's used for and how it's used in everyday life and yada yada yada." And for some reason, me and Ryan had the thought, what if This is fucking bananas to me. I don't know where this comes from, but we were like, what if we made a video about it?
And yeah, we approached the teacher and we're like, can we make a video? And we didn't really say what it was gonna be.
And he was like, sure, thinking we were full of shit. And then we went home, and it's the first time Ryan, I think, first and maybe only time I've ever done a project ahead of time because I was so excited to do it.
Right.
But we went home, and for like the next 3 days, like he spent the night that Friday night, and then spent the night the Saturday night, and was there the whole weekend as we built out a level of Forge and Sandbox, the map in Halo 3. And no, it wasn't Halo 3.
Yeah, it was Halo 3.
When did Halo 3 come out?
I don't know then.
It had to have been because that was the
Halo
first
3
one with
didn't have
Forge.
Forge,
Yeah, Halo 3 was the first with the Forge.
Yeah, it was.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it was Halo 3. So we spent the whole weekend building out a couple of levels layouts in Forge. Where like he had the calcium set up on one side of the map, and I had the tungsten one. And we like were both in the game at the same time building stuff out. And then we ran through the path. We like pathed it so that we could go back in the theater mode and like fly the cameras around. And figure out, okay, we're going to go here, and we're going to do this, and we're going to go here, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to go here, and we're going to do this. And then we sat down and wrote scripts for each other, and then played through it, and, like, had to walk to everything, and, like, we'd count, like, all right, there's 5 lines here, so when you get here, count to 15. Nod.
Yep.
Turn. All right, walk to the next thing. And then, like... Then go back with fucking the camera in Forge, in the theater mode, and fly around and follow it and get like good framing and everything, and do that while recording it on the fucking VHS recorder.
Yep. We didn't have a DVD recorder.
No, and we didn't have OBS. We didn't have any of this shit. And so then we took that and we did it for me and for him. We took that to class, threw it in the VCR, and then stood in the front of the class and read our script while it was happening. Like, we would look up and go, okay, and then we read through the script as it happened. It's the fucking nerdiest thing I think I've ever done in school. And it was like our freshman year of high school, and we fucking crushed it so much that we did it a second time, where we had to make our elements superheroes. And, like... That time we did all the stuff I just described, but Ryan brought over a thumb drive with music in it, and we had to plug the thumb drive into the Xbox and then hit play on it, and then act it out right and on time and get it. And we had musical cues in the video that we had to hit, and we hit them, and it was fucking awesome. And now all I want to do is make fucking Forge movies again, because that shit was
We
insane.
definitely need to fucking
Tech
do
was
it.
talking about making Forge movies yesterday.
Tech was?
Yes.
We were talking about.
We were talking about it
a couple
today.
weeks ago.
I mean, look at Rooster Teeth, guys.
Right.
That's how they
I was
started.
telling Ryan, I Googled it. I Googled Halo
Yep.
Forge movies or Halo Forge shows. There's no one's doing it except for Rooster Teeth.
Yep.
Red versus Blue is the only people who've done it. And I was like, dude, we could tell so many short stories. And now Halo Reach is on Master Chief Collection, and you can play as humans or Covenant. So we could actually have, like, opposite factions. So, yeah. That's the moment I knew I wanted to fucking do something.
Yeah, that was super fun. We never got those videos back.
No. Although we talked to Poe
No,
last
because
summer.
your teacher is now the CEO of Rooster Teeth.
He just stole that shit. No, we talked to Poe like last summer or something like that, watching Jordan play baseball. And he was like, I think I still got him. And I was like, don't fucking lie to me, dude.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
if you
he-
do, I will lose my fucking mind.
That's his main line every time we ask him. Yeah, I think I got him somewhere. Yeah, fuck you.
Oh my god, Ryan.
What?
When they added Halo Reach, they added everyone's Forge maps. Because they were saved to like a server. What if they're fucking in there?
Are we remaking it?
Wow.
That's
H-
so that's
H-
so that's,
HD
that's where
remake, boys.
That was where my first step into the elements was. I was Captain Calcium.
And now he's
And then
Sergeant Sodium.
Myself.
Man, you got fucking demoted.
We don't know what kind of sergeant I am. Okay, it's just part of it. Sergeant. It could be Admiral Sergeant. I don't. Fucking
That's
know.
not a thing!
It's not a thing,
It is
though.
now.
No.
Admiral
I
Sergeant
am
Sully.
Admiral
Ass.
Sergeant.
I'm ass from now on.
We
Admiral
went from
Sergeant.
the metal military to the mineral militia, so he got.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate that so much.
But it happened, and it's
Uh,
recorded.
Oh
Is
my
that my new
god.
The mineral militia? Is that they're not
Time
my
for
private?
some new branding.
Yep.
What you just made yourself do, Ben.
Look what
That's
the-
actually really good though. Instead of being the privates, you've got the mineral militia. I like that a lot.
that needs to happen.
Yep. Good job, Ben. Oh shit.
Where do we go from here?
I gotta share my worst Christmas with video game related thing real quick.
Okay,
It's a
thank
short.
God it's a video game one. Jesus.
No, not the worst Christmas ever. The worst video game Christmas, and this is an easy story and short because I've brought it up recently. My my parents never bought me anything Game Boy related. Like my mom bought me the Halo books, and that was fucking dope because but they were books. She bought them because they were books. She didn't buy the games. So most of the time I had to like get games with like allowance or borrow them from Ryan or whatever the situation was. I didn't have a 360 until 2009 or 10 when I graduated high school, and my buddy moved from St. Louis to New Hampshire and dropped it off on his way because his brother had a PS3 and he didn't need a 360 anymore.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, woof, man.
Oh,
Man, did he make a mistake? He's got an Xbox
Man.
again though. But anyway,
never mind.
my parents never bought me game stuff. But as I was getting into games more and more and more, I started talking about them more, and like would talk with my dad and mom about them like individually and sometimes even together. One year, the only conversation I had with my parents was about the difference between Battlefield and Call of Duty, and how I didn't like Call of Duty anymore because they just did the same thing every single year, and how Battlefield was actually pushing the envelope and like trying to tell good stories with its campaign and not just being a fucking blah blah blah. And for Christmas, I got 4 Call of Duty games and 2 Call of Duty t-shirts.
What the hell?
And they were like, well, we know how much you like Call of Duty. And I had to sit there and fucking smile and say thanks when I was like, it's literally the opposite.
I'm just dying inside.
And I went to GameStop and tried to trade in the 4 games they got me, and I did not even get $5 for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were the 4 Call of Duties?
Oh, it was Call of Duty 2, 3,
Okay. Alright.
and
World at War.
Modern. No, it was 2, 3, Modern Warfare, and I think Big Red 1. But that was for. Yeah, Big Red 1, which is like the first. Like this.
That's the Russian one, right?
Yep.
No, the Big Red 1 was about an anti-tank group of dudes. World at War was the one that took place in Russia.
Okay.
Yeah, there was the originals. It was like the old ones. The ones that came out in like 2002, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, you're not even talking about Modern Warfare. You're talking about just straight up
Straight up Call of Duty 2
Wow.
and Call of Duty 3, which I believe Call of Duty 3 opens up in like
$12 on
Africa.
all 4 of those games.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, that's.
And
sorry.
2 Call of Duty shirts. And I think the shirt was a Modern Warfare 3 shirt. So this is what year they did it in.
So they were
Modern
clearly-
Warfare 3 was out, and they bought Call of Duty 2, 3, and what?
So they were clearly half listening.
Yeah. That's when I realized that I couldn't talk to my... not that I couldn't. It was when I realized that when I was talking to my parents about games, they didn't really care.
There was a time about probably between when we still had NFL 2K and maybe when GameCube came out and we had the Rogue Squadron game, somewhere in between those two things, PS2 and GameCube, I would bring over a system and a new game that I got to play with your mom and dad.
Yeah. I remember you brought the Sega Dreamcast over with NFL Fever.
Yeah.
I
And
remember
every
that.
other game that existed.
A lot of fighting games, and then you guys would go to sleep and we'd keep playing. It was a good time.
I remember that now that you say it, but I don't... What? Why did that stop?
I think I moved over the river, so I just wasn't around very much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved into my buddy's house and became like a true adult and just kind of ignored my family. And what you do in the 20s.
A true adult. Yeah.
What you do in your 20s, yeah. Um,
Oh, that's a
but,
20s thing. Okay.
I think so. Yeah, because late 20s, I'm like, oh yeah, I like my family.
You're not quite there yet.
In a couple years. Fuck.
Yep. Well, about late 20s, I'm like, oh shit, I like them and I want to do things for them. I'm 28. Yeah.
You're not there yet, Caleb. You got,
Eric.
you got 16 years.
Oh my God, that's disgusting. 16 years since I was 12.
You know,
Wait,
but I got somewhere to be in 5 minutes, so you guys can keep going if you don't want to wrap up in 5 minutes.
I think we're all done.
Yeah, I think
we're all done.
a pretty good holiday episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We talked about our Christmases and shit.
jovial.
Jopiel?
Hey, you want to wrap up listing every console you've ever had? No, that would probably take too long.
No, we can do that. We'll
You
start
do that
with
quick.
We'll start with the young guys, so you old fucks can go last. Ryan, how many consoles have you owned, and what were they?
Can you list them?
Yeah. I had. Well, my dad had an Atari, so I had an Atari. Then I had the Nintendo, Game Boy, N64, the PlayStation 1, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Super Nintendo. I also had that back then too.
Cool.
Xbox One X.
Xbox One X. I mean, it's the same thing. I think that's it. Yeah.
All right. I've had
9 systems.
9. Oh, mine's not that high. I've had a Sega Genesis, PS1, a PS2, which my parents gave back to Ben after he gave it to us on Christmas.
I thought that was gonna be your worst Christmas.
That was a hard story.
I thought,
Dude.
I've heard a story very recently this year where the parents sent out a letter ahead of time saying, like, don't get these things to sort of make sure that the parents are giving the best gifts so they're not, like, out-gifted. And I kind of feel that to some capacity.
Grandparents don't know where the line is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, too. Anyway.
The grandparents are like, this is what you want us to get? Just buy all of it.
That's
Okay.
what my mom and dad do.
Yeah. So Sega Genesis, PS1, PS2, 360, Xbox One. And then 360, Xbox One, and then PS3 and PS4.
Gotcha.
So 7.
Ben, did you want to go because you got your ship awaits?
I suppose so. I've owned everything since, but I'm going to go through the things in which I procured them before I was old enough to buy everything retroactively. I had it at some point. I had them all, and
All right.
I said I don't want this
I
anymore.
want
All of
it
them, and
all.
now I deeply regret it. So
Yeah.
linear progression
Yes.
was. I've always had a PC, so that's always been gradiating throughout the years. Great, getting the newest one. So Nintendo. Did not have a Super Nintendo. I got a Genesis, and then I got that Sega CD, and then I got the 32X, and then I did not get a Super Nintendo. I did get a Nintendo 64. I did not get a PlayStation because my friend had one. I got the Sega Saturn. I was a hardcore Sega boy at that point, and then I got the Sega Dreamcast, and then Dreamcast sort of screwed itself out of into oblivion, I guess, by not having a DVD player. So that's where I started getting everything at that point. I had the PS2, the GameCube, the Xbox.
Oh, I had the GameCube too. I forgot about that.
Yep, I had them all. That was the golden years for me. I had all 3 major platforms around second gen, something like that. And then, of course, I did every Xbox since, but I don't. What came after GameCube? The Wii?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I had a Wii for a little bit. I had a little Wii, and then that's kind of like the last of it for real. Nintendo kind of lost me with all their.
I'm trying to get past the fact
I'm trying
that
to
you
get
just
she
said
said
that.
I had a little Wii.
You're welcome. And then Nintendo sort of lost me at that point. And then I always play catch up with PlayStation. I get it after the fact. I got a PS4 like for a few years ago. and then yeah, that's it. That's it. That's my story.
Nice.
Proud of you.
All right. In television, Atari, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, TurboGrafx-16, Neo Geo. PlayStation, Atari Jaguar,
Wow, Jaguar.
an Atari Jaguar.
Yeah.
Then I had PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360. Oh, wait, I had a Dreamcast in there as well. And then, yeah, up to current and then PC as well. So.
Gotcha.
Yep. I didn't get a PC that could play games until this year.
Caleb, I put a quick fact down there for you. It actually matches a statement you said earlier.
You put a statement I said earlier?
Mm-hmm. Do you have a Smurf fact already?
No, I did not have a Smurf fact already.
Okay.
I just can't open Discord on
I can read it if you
the
like.
computer. Oh yeah, I can.
Hey,
Hang
my
on.
wife follows you, Eric.
What?
Ooh. Hello.
What's happening?
How are you?
Take her to the bar.
I can't right now. We're in the podcast.
So confused.
Wait. I can.
It's just gonna look like shit.
All right, I'm gonna play. So at the end of the
Come on
show, before we go, we always read a fun little fact, and it's our Smurf fact. I put the audio in my PC, so y'all can't hear it anymore, but it works every time. It's our Smurf fact. Smurf facts, oh yeah. Yeah, it sounds good to me. Y'all just can't hear it anymore. Ben has the Smurf fact for this week. Ben, what is our Smurf fact?
All right. Caleb mentioned something earlier. He said pushing the envelope. For those who don't know,
Envelope.
it means testing limits and trying out new and often radical ideas. The expression comes originally from mathematics and engineering, where an envelope is a boundary, but was popularized by test pilots, especially those depicted in Tom Wolfe's book, The Right Stuff, which was used for inspiration for Top Gun.
Huh.
Nice.
Why is it weird? All right. I thought pushing the
I've always
envelope
heard
meant
I've always heard it from from pilots.
yeah. That doesn't. All right.
Yep.
Dope.
But it doesn't literally mean anything outside of mathematics and engineering.
All right. So yeah, quit pushing the envelope.
Ben's in the danger zone of missing his ship launch.
Yeah.
Ben's like, my skyjack is ready to skyjack off.
Yikes.
Ah, shit. Well, if you want to catch us, we'll be streaming a few times, I think, between now and Christmas Day, and then a little bit afterwards, of course. We will be taking next week off, but we're going to have something to go up next week. I'm not sure what it is yet, but we'll have something. If you listen to the podcast, it comes out on Fridays, and you can get it on every major podcast network distributor. If you want to follow Nerdy Bits, go to nerdybits.com. You can find all of our social and video links there. If you want to follow me, it's at Lubwub. If you want to follow, if people want to follow you, Ryan, where do they go?
Sergeant Sodium on Twitter, Mixer, and Xbox.
If people want to follow you, Eric, where do they go?
Hybrid glass everywhere, and now on TikTok.
Oh shit! I saw that. And if people want to follow you, Ben, aside from showing up at your Skyjack in 5 minutes, where do they go?
It's called a railjack. And
I'm a railjack. Jack. Yep.
Yep.
Fuck, I'm out of here.
So everywhere: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, even Facebook at Sketchpad.
All right. Dope. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We'll catch everybody in a couple weeks after Christmas. Have a good holiday. Enjoy the shit out of your family. Enjoy your shit family. However you want to pronounce. However you want to. Fuck.
All the eggnog.
And drink all the eggnog.
All
Ryan, welcome to the eggnog family.
That's right.
I'm out.
Adios.
Man, he gets deuced. I was gonna say, you know, what would be a cool idea is if he had